Hello, goodbye. Welcome, everyone. All right, I'm so excited to finally be streaming again. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me. I haven't been able to spend as much time as I wanted doing what I love to do. Okay, so we're going to get started here in just a second. Hey, Jojo. Hey, Nex. You could go Power Rangers. I love it so much. It's way too loud. Thank you. Okay, let me deal with that. All right. Is that any better? It is louder. It is better. Okie dokie. Alrighty. Thank you, guys. I used a new setup, and so I had to start sound levels from scratch. So I wasn't sure how that was going to end up being. All right, and I'm audible to you guys. I'm okay. Hey, Vlad. Welcome. Give me just a sec, guys, since I decided to try multi-streaming, even though I'm terrible at streaming on one platform. I'm sure I'm screwing something up here. So give me 2 seconds. And I think I might be golden. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at once. So, I think... right on. Okie dokie. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know what I decided. I decided to try it and see if I sink or swim. So, we'll see what goes on. Da, 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 da. All right. Oh, come on. There it goes. Okay. I will. Right now, it's 2 platforms. I have no idea how streaming works on Twitter, so I decided not to do that one. But I'm doing YouTube and Twitch at the moment. I think I turned off Twitter. God, I hope I turned off Twitter. Whatever. We'll go with it. We'll go nuts. All right. On Kick, yeah. I'll see about Kick eventually, I'm sure. That one is gonna be an interesting thing to try and figure out, for sure. Alrighty, let's see. Does it really? I mean, I'm nowhere near getting paid anyway, guys. I'm working on followers. I'm not working on anything else at the moment. Let's see. Okay. I'm so glad to be doing this again, and thank you guys for showing up. I've barely been able to stream the last couple of weeks. Really? I'll have to remember that. Okay, oh, why did I do that? Go away. Okay, and this is the next weapon. I am doing good, Vlad. How are you? And how are you next? And how are you, Jojo? I've been working for, I had to get in a couple of chapters on my thesis. Oh shoot, I need to do punishments here. Let's see, where's my punishment wheel? Where are you, punishment wheel? Oh dang, Kick sounds crazy. There we go, that's better. Okie dokie. Kick sounds nuts, I gotta say. It's something that I haven't looked into at all. Okay, damage control 1 is my first punishment. Convenience fee 2 is my next punishment. Okie dokie. That's crazy. Lasting Consequences 2. These are all so good so far. So long as I don't get deadlines, everything is peachy keen. Underworld Customs, awesome. Oh, those are all totally doable. I did not know Twitch had any feelings one way or the other on the whole gambling thing. Okay, so it was Damage Control. It was Underworld Customs. Where are you, Underworld Customs? There you are. It was Lasting Consequences 1. And it was, what was the last one? Benefits Package? Was that what it was? I think that's what it was, right? Thoughts on the new Twitch TOS? It's gonna. I think they already rolled them back, right? Like some people already pushed the envelope a little too much, right? Yeah, it's been an interesting thing, and I think a couple people already ruined it, right? I think that's what happened. I can't see if I remember entirely, but I think that's what I saw. Which is, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, I have no doubt. And I feel bad for the artists that really just wanted to, use it legitimately. Because Twitch has some interesting. It's not always really, clear what they're gonna pick at and what they're not, and I think that would have made artists feel a lot better about, drawing whatever they wanted to draw. And now kind of a couple people pushed the envelope just to see how far it would go, and Twitch had to, and I don't blame Twitch for rolling it back either. Like, I can see what they were thinking, and they just couldn't have anticipated how just hog wild everyone was going to instantly go. Which is kind of a bummer. Go, Vlad. Tell me. I want to hear what everybody thinks on the art thing. Since I'm not an artist, my thought, was mainly just, I'm glad that people can have their freedom, but it's a tough one. And then, especially on VTubers in particular, it was kind of like, okay, does that count, or how are we gonna do that? So, I watched a few streamers I like, or I talk with occasionally, just instantly go frustrated. I don't know anything about the CEO of Twitch. Is the chat showing up or not? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay. Is he? Good for him. Special becomes a rocket. Attack does 40 damage. I think let's go with the special. Ooh, do I want chaos? What am I? Yeah, I think I'll go for chaos. Whoa. Hang on, something is wrong with my playlist. I think I might be accidentally doing copyright stuff. Oh no. Few seconds. That's not gonna be okay. No. Don't do that. Turn off the smart shuffle. Come on. There we go. Okay. Did he really? The CEO signed up for Twitch and couldn't get partner. That's crazy. Yes, Vlad. Divide and conquer. Let's see. In the next encounter, and dash 33 range damage. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and then let's do this. All right. Oh shoot! There we go. Boom. So yeah, my thought was I was super excited for artists. I wanted them to be able to do what they want to do. I understand Twitch's point. They need to keep some modicum of control on everything. And then some people just took it too far, which is a bummer. Well, that too. That's fine. It's yeah, it is. It's really frustrating. It's super frustrating. Let's see. Yeah, I want that. Sure. It's been represented in a sexual way in the past. Nothing wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's the classics. Obviously, people look at the Venus de Milo and David and things like that, and it's like, hey, yeah, they can draw neat. I mean, to be fair, they did censor Michelangelo's David for a long time. That's what the whole fig leaf thing was. Like, they were scandalized by the part, so they covered him up before removing it again. But the exhibitions were also more limited by the resources and technology at the time, which meant that their image was not so widespread. That's true. On the other hand, the group that rejects it, we honestly have group. Honestly, I find their reactions somewhat excessive. Yeah. Yes, I see what you mean. You're right on all counts. You're right on all counts. There is kind of, okay, we do need to watch since platforms do reach wider, more extensive audiences. Okay, next. But I totally get where you're coming from on this, Vlad. It is tough. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how views on this kind of thing work, and it is. We've spent a long time as a society. Oh God, I don't want to talk about we live in a society or whatever, but we have spent a lot of time very concerned about the most the people that can be the most scandalized, I guess, maybe is the way to put it, where they will be the ones that were like, oh gosh, these people that are clutching at the pearls thinking of their children, etc., 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 is not the they're the ones that we're worried about. Or vanilla artists will start. Yes, that's absolutely true. There is going to be an abuse of the concept, 100%. It's I don't even feel bad for the people using the new meta. Obvious kids lie about their age, use a lot on the internet. They're Simpson horny. Yes, this is true. Kids are going to absolutely lie about their age and go on to stuff and look at stuff that ostensibly they shouldn't. You are absolutely right. However, we cannot. I don't think it's wise to, base things on the fact that some people are going to lie. Like, we have to go with the hope that, the rules we use are the ones to go by. No, you're right. Valid opinions, but once I have people defending it because they are Simpson horny. But of course, this is my opinion, could be wrong. Also, I don't have any negative thoughts against both sides. I just wanted. Yes. No, you are absolutely correct. It is going to be. It's the thing where I want people to have the freedom of expression, to draw what they want, to write what they want, to talk about what they want. And there is a level you get to a point where it can be gosh, I can't do this while trying to play this. It cannot. You get to a point where it is excess, and it's tough to find that line. I mean, that's always been one of the dangers of artistic expression in general, anyway. So it's something we're going to have to get better at finding a line at. I kind of lean more on the side of set up the age lines and some people are going to cheat on it, but we can't use that as our standard. We have to go with, okay, once we have age lines set up, we let people on this one side or the other do what they want. And I do feel like setting up the age restrictions and then just kind of letting people feel free to create what they want or show what they want or do what they want is kind of the best thing to do. I'm a little. This is coming from someone who's relatively prudish too. I'm not what one would call, let's say, lascivious or enraptured or excited, particularly in the arms of Eratos. Let's call it that. Let's just say it that way. I am not, or Eros or Aphrodite. I am not within their purview to any particularly extensive degree. So I'm semi-prudish in that regard. No, prudish isn't the right word. I don't particularly care. It doesn't affect me much one way or the other. I don't get excited by a lot of the stuff I see. So to me, it's just kind of like, I just want people to be able to put together what they want. And yeah, there's going to be, like you said, some kids that live out their age. They do that for everything everywhere. And I don't think we can care about that. That's just going to happen. If they find a way to fix it, great for them. I do feel bad for the people that legitimately just like making art and were excited to not have to worry about censorship, and then people took it too far. A bunch of VTubers I like just immediately got banned, which means they immediately thought they could just go hog wild. It's like, no, that's not the point. We had a chance here and you kind of ruined it for everyone. Which sucks, unfortunately. It's called Twitch. I found the rules very clear. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think Twitch, they really thought about it. They knew it's something that people have complained about for a long time. Twitch was really trying to make a compromise for something that a lot of creators have felt worried about to an extensive degree. And I think Twitch was like, okay, maybe we can find a way to make this work. And they thought about it and they set out some guidelines, and it just immediately was absolutely abused instantly. So let's see. I need help. And I'll take one of these too. Let's see. Let's do that one. It is sad. So it's kind of, we'll see what happens with it. Oh crap, my monitor's turning off. No! Come on. There we go. Better. I spent some time living in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and we spent a lot of time amongst some of the bohemian groups there, and they did a lot of expression that it'd be hard to find, in other areas, and it's you could tell that the people that were, showing things that may not have been what one would consider socially acceptable, were just living their best lives, loving what they were doing, and that's what I want to see people be able to do. So we'll see what happens in the future. All right, come on now. I don't know. To be well, I mean, everything from you find very scandalous sculptures and paintings to uh, e- even dance styles that they were working on, and clothing that they were designing. It was all very uh, relatively scandalous to a lot of people, and so it was the kind of thing. But they were in communities where that was accepted, and it was obviously they delighted in it. Well, not even like the cultural differences, because the the general culture in Buenos Aires wasn't terribly different from what you'd see in other areas. But there were sections where it was just sort of acknowledged that this is the artistic, this is the artistic area to do this. Oh, I need to keep this, don't I? No, I don't. It's not gonna help me. So let's use the collar. So it wasn't that. It was oh god, that's right. I gotta purge something. Let's see. That's not the purging thingy. There it is. I gotta purge one of these. Oh yeah, I gotta get rid of that. So they just recognized there were areas where people should feel free to express themselves more, and they had those kind of sections of town set up. And in most cities you will kind of find that area, and that's kind of what I meant is in any society, any culture, you'll find areas where people are allowed to express themselves better. But that's a lot harder to do online, where kind of like you notice when it's a lot harder to just have the audience that you're looking to have. People tend to get concerned. There's always that think of the children mentality, which on one hand I absolutely understand. You don't want kids to see things that they're not ready to see, and the other is okay, but that can't be the concern of the general public all the time. Parents gotta do that and not expect that everything's gonna cater to that. They gotta work on that themselves. So we will see what happens in the future. I hope artists get the opportunity they want. And I mean, and I'm not necessarily one to talk. The 2D model that I'm getting created is going to be a bit not scandalous, but it's going to be different, and it's gonna have some interesting. Yes, the internet in the past was crazy, some real no holds barred kind of stuff before everybody before the boomers got Facebook. Then it started really going, and it's not to say you can't still see wild stuff. Of course you can. So it will be interesting. I will give kudos to Twitch. I will give kudos to Twitch that they tried. They wanted to make something happen. And it's I think it's taken them a long time to even get to the point that they did, and it just got immediately, give an inch kind of thing, which is very frustrating. And I don't blame Twitch for dialing it back until they can figure out a better way to do it. So we'll see what happens. I am a hand of the game. I don't have money for anything. I guess I'll just go here and probably die here in a second. Thank you, Vlad. I'm very excited about the 2D model that I have coming up. It's very exciting. I'm very happy with the design that I came up with, and the artist is working hard to make it happen. So we will see. Better go with Poseidon. I've posted a sneak peek of it to my Discord, actually. There's just the very basic concept sketch. Let's see. Here we go. So we will see what happens. Come on now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. This is gonna kill me. This is absolutely gonna kill me. It's good that you have faith. I am, of course, a god among gaming, but that's fair. I set one up just because it's kind of the thing to do. It's a way, that way I can, you know, keep people appraised if they wanna follow along or anything like that. It's not even used much. Just kind of a place to check in or anything like that. People, there do seem to be, there are probably levels to Discord that I'm just not exposed to. So I mean, I just kind of use it as a chat, basically. Communication stuff just isn't necessary yet. It might if I ever get to the place where I do collabs, but until then it just doesn't matter. Just chat. A forum, and there I go. Of the game. Yeah, that's fair. I set one up when I started streaming. I had another one that I'd never used. I only started really using it when I started streaming. Okay, I don't have enough for anything there. Gotta use this. I gotta go back to Skelly. Here we go. Alrighty, let's see. Get rid of all these, and then I will spin again. Any motivation to start streaming? I'd been looking for something to kind of do in my off time. I'm working on my master's degree thesis, and it's a bit stressful. And I wanted an outlet, and I wanted something that was also gonna kind of push me to communicate more, to talk more, and you know, because once I'm done with my thesis, I'm going to be teaching, and I needed to be able to generate, to be able to kind of keep things going correctly, or keep going consistently. So what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm doing the thingy. Come on now. So it was kind of both an outlet to take my mind off of the things I'm working on, and also to improve, you know, communication skills, stuff like that. Heighten security. And it's just fun. I really enjoy talking with people. Heighten security, underworld customs, those are both good. Easy peasy. Middle management, okay. I'm glad I added some weight for the ones that only have one level because they were being ignored. And approval process 1. Okay, those are all easy. I can manage those. Alright. It's not so much confidence. It's really I wanted to no, not damage control. Approval process 1, Titan security, underworld customs, and middle management. There we go. It wasn't even a confidence thing. It was this is something I need to improve on, and I genuinely have fun chatting with people and doing this, and I loved creating a character, and it's been a great blast. I've had a lot of fun learning how to stream. Oops, I put on my angry face. There's my happy face. I'm a happy face. So let's see. Attack. Let's go with that. Yeah, happy face. So yeah, it's made me really happy learning to stream and meeting people and just having, great times to talk and meeting with other creators and just having a blast. And people don't have to see the old fuddy-duddy me, the one that's a history student. I'm gonna go this way. You come calling. See, the thing is, I've always been good at like at public speaking, at giving speeches or performing or it's sort of keeping. I try to keep a crowd entertained or interested at least. But streaming is a whole different ball game, and so it's something that I really wanted to push myself to do. It's like, okay, can I multitask? Can I communicate and engage and meet people and learn about them and stuff while doing something else? And it's a bit of a challenge, but a fun one. And I've loved meeting people. I've been so grateful for everyone that comes in and chats. It has been really fun and nice. And again, it does, like I said, I spent the last 2 weeks finishing up 2 chapters to present to my director before a deadline. Thank you, Vlad. You're so sweet. I don't know, I just want to. I want people to have a good time. That's the whole goal. As much as I'm doing things like, trying to increase followers and audience and stuff, I just want the people to show up that to have fun. That's the whole bit. And me to have fun. I think it's important for everyone to have fun. Admittedly, dying in this repeatedly for almost a month now isn't necessarily fun, but it is in its own way too. Let's see. Let's do this one. So that's the goal. That's what I'm working on. Alrighty. Oh, I can heal. That's nice. Alrighty. Let's see. What do I got? Let's go this way. Oh, crap. I forgot that this increases the amount of mini bosses. Okay. So we'll see what happens. I felt confident enough to get a cheap 2D model. And I'm very excited to see how that affects, if it affects anything. Or people's reception or things like that. So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Should be here within about 2 weeks. The model should be ready to go. It's a complete character redesign too, which is really fun. Just that's part of the real fun of streaming too, is just coming up with a character. Oh, you're so sweet. I am expecting no money from everyone, even if I could get it, which I can't right now anyway. That's super sweet. I will never expect anyone to give anything at all. That's not my goal. That's not my expectation. I don't want people to give. I just want people to have fun. And that's something I'll need to emphasize, is that even if I make affiliate or anything like that, and I'll have, bits or subscriptions available, it is not something I want anyone to do unless they're, they feel like it. It's never an expectation. It's never upset when, if I don't get it or anything like that. So if I get affiliate, I will have nothing. I will expect nothing from people. The only thing that I'll look forward to really with getting affiliate or anything like that is being able to create more personalized stuff, more more fun alerts and reactions and redeems, that kind of thing. I'll be very excited to do. But uh, as far as financially, I'm not concerned about that one bit. I don't want people to do that unless they really feel like it. And I just want people to have a good time. That's the only goal. Again, this is just kind of, I'm not looking to make this anything that supports me. I've got those plans in the works. This is just for fun, and that's all I want from people too. So we'll see what happens. And maybe I won't get a affiliate. Maybe I'll just always be a small streamer, which is a-okay too, as long as I have a few people that are, hanging around to chat with. And you have been cheering me up, Vlad. It's so sweet. Let's see. Maybe a random boon. Yeah, here we go. Divine Strike. Ooh. Yeah, I better do that. And I can heal. Oh, I'm doing really good. I'm so good at this. Everyone marvels at my gaming skill. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, the kind of support you give Vlad is the kind that really means the most. The people that just come in are willing to chat. All I'm looking for. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Bully. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, this is so good. I'm doing so good. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing is, it is. It's really nice to feel supported. Okay, I gotta pause for 2 seconds because I just spilled. Curse you, T. Alright, here we go. Ah, here we go. Alright. I'm gonna have to get a juice in a second. I need some juicy juice. My tea is almost gone, so I will replace it with some juice. I truly wanted. There we go. Oh, bully, bully, bully. Let's see. Let's go this way. Battles to the end. Ooh. Really tempted by Hermes, but I think I gotta go with Water Daddy. That'll work. That'll work. Golden. To my millennium eye. Alrighty. And I think I'll be able to get some more people. I think I'll be able to chat and engage with some more people now that I've gotten a couple of chapters of my thesis out of the way. Be able to stream a bit more and talk a bit more and good times. So we will see what happens. Alrighty. Oh, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah. Bad, bad, bad. Ah, 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 ah. Come on, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, that didn't do anywhere near as much damage as I had hoped it would. Okay. That's fine. Working, working, working. But even while I've been very strapped for time, I wanted to stream at least once or twice a week. So, and hopefully now I'll be able to increase that. Which will be fun, hopefully. Where'd you go? There you are. Come on. How am I already almost dead? Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, much better. So fun, so much better. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna pause for 2 seconds. I don't like how small the chat box is. I mean, the chat box is fine, but I clearly have it sized too small. Come on, man. Hopefully that'll look better when messages pop up. Oh, I'm in the way. That's part of it. Oopsie doodle. Da 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 da. And I put you outside the box. There we go. Hopefully that looks better now. Y'all deserve to be seen. Yeah, exactly. It's been a bit much, little underwhelming.
For our plan to succeed, Kaiba must be taken out of the picture permanently. You'll never take me alive. Seto Kaiba will
There we
us
go.
no more. I'm not gonna give up Kaiba.
Oh, I got a purge. That's right.
It's takeover time.
Let's see, Bloodshot.
With the blue eyes white dragon.
I want to get rid of that one. Ba 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 ba. Ba da ba 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 ba. Alrighty, so much better.
We're going in.
I got this.
Big brother, you're here. You're here.
Alrighty. Bully. Alright, there we go. Am I gonna stream tomorrow? Yes. Yes. Probably a little earlier than I started today. But well, hopefully a little earlier than I started today. But yes, barring any further unforeseen circumstances, I will be streaming tomorrow. That's my plan anyway. We'll see what happens. I cannot wait to see you fly. And again, props. I'm gonna say this officially, and I'll. If no one else clips it, I will. I will say this. Props to Twitch for trying to change their TOS. Lots of love to them for trying. You know, they gave it some thought, and don't blame them for walking it back. And I think, you know, in the future they will be able to hopefully, you know, come back to it and do it again. It was really, you know, I think they made the right choice. I think they had their hands forced and had to walk some stuff back, but I think it was a great gesture. I think it was the right move, and I'm sure that they'll, in the future, be able to make it happen again and bring in a more diverse kind of group of creators. So props to Twitch. There we go. They deserve that clip at least. Exactly. Yeah, it's really hard to come up with with something that appeals to all people. I'm gonna go with Athena. It is. It's very hard, and they're doing their best to try to figure out how to make it work the best way possible. And it's tough. It's very tough, and it's something that they've had to deal with for years. They and YouTube and all the other platforms. It's like, okay, they want people to express themselves. That's the whole point. But also, it's like, okay, they've got really wide audiences, and they have the difficult phooey. They have the difficult job. Yeah, I don't think that was English. I think that was a typo, Vlad. Your English is wonderful. Your English is just wonderful. Gonna get you tonight. Don't let Lord dance put a spell on your mind. Let's see. I think I'll go. How do I want to do this? I think I want that. I don't think I want that. Let's go for this, I think. There we go. This challenge is going to take me the rest of my life. And that's without getting a ton of followers. Alrighty. English has an interesting combination of grammatical rules, and part of that is because English is an amalgamation of 3 or 4 different base languages. It's got a Latin influence, it's got a Teutonic or German influence, it's got a Nordic influence, and then it was its own language before it got those influences. Crap. And because of that, it has a lot of spelling and grammatical stuff from all 4 of those different influences. It's very, very difficult. Tight deadline. Was forced overtime. It was lasting consequences. And it was latent security, I think. So yeah, English is difficult. I mean, every language is difficult. Every language has its intricacies, and every language has its wordplay. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's got so much of that Germanic and Latin influence. And that combination makes things very, very difficult to figure out. I think I'll use this for this. So it's a tough one to conquer. I like Spanish's conjugation rules. I think those are much more fluid and simple. I like actual German's vocabulary and word structure. I think those are much more effective, and even there's each language has its very, very impressive uses and strengths and weaknesses. But English kind of keeps a little bit of each one, which makes it troubling to deal with. Alright, we'll take this one. Don't get me wrong though, I love English so much. It's kind of, I don't know how common that is for people to say about their native languages, but I absolutely love English. I love how it works. I love the wordplay. I love the flows and the intonations. Yeah, no, Romanian boggles my mind. you should see English from about 1,000 years ago, though, and about 1,400 years ago. It was it was much more German. It was much more German. It hadn't uh, it it still had that Latin influence because the Roman Empire had already been there, but it was almost unrecognizable as English. It had not evolved at all towards what it is now. That's called Old English, and then there was Middle English, which came about 1,000 years ago, which was slightly more recognizable, mainly only in writing. You wouldn't really understand it hearing it spoken. And then about 500 years ago, it really became what we see today, and that's when it became New English. Oh crap, I forgot I'm on a deadline. I always forget. There was the ye. That was still modern English. That's just kind of technically modern English. It had the ye, which was also at the time still had some Nordic influences in the alphabet, and the y was also a th sound, so it was also the. So it was both of those. But yeah, it had some ye's and these and nows and thys. But that was still modern English. That was just, we changed those words. It changed how we pronounced them over time. But yeah, English has changed quite a bit too, which again is true of every language. I have no idea what 11th century Spanish was like. Latin was already mostly extinct by then, so gotta go this way. So English has changed quite a bit. Oh gosh, dang! Every time. Every freaking time. Okay. Well, what you've missed, of course, Vlad, is just some spectacular gameplay, flawless gameplay. That's what was hidden by the screen. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Oh shoot, I forgot. I should have grabbed that gold. Oh well. Okay, this is good. This is good. And we'll go for this. Here we go. The period of English I study is very similar to now, because I study 18th century English, which is, it only had some minor differences from what you see now. And oh yeah, it's I like talking about these things too. Absolutely. It makes my day. Let's see. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Of course, my brain just shut off because I'm trying to do this. Here we go. 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 Okay. Probably this is the way to go. Come on now. Here we go. I got you. Got you. Yeah, baby. I'm winning. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Keep going. Okay, yes, you, gosh. Yes, that is my particular field of study is the history of the U.S. Constitution. I focus on a couple of specific historical figures, and I focus on the period where the U.S. Constitution was drafted. It is my bread and butter. I love it. I love talking about it. That's the period. I'm sure you know the names: Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Those are the people of the period I study, and it is absolute thrill. Where are you? What were you reading about the Constitution of the United States? I'm very curious. All right. Yes, the Articles of Confederation were, they were drafted by a committee headed by a man by the name of John Dickinson, who is actually the person most against the United States becoming independent. But he drafted the Articles of Confederation in 1777. They were ratified in 1781, and they were used for a grand total of 6 years before they realized they failed miserably. They weren't designed well for a nation that was supposed to kind of be united. It was designed for the states to sort of act like their own individual countries, and so because of that, the nation as a whole wasn't able to raise money for armies. It was barely able to make deals with other countries because they had no way of fulfilling their promises to other countries. So yeah, the Articles of Confederation were the United States' attempt before the Constitution, and it didn't work. And so when they realized it wasn't going to work in 1787, they decided to have a convention. Yes, well, it made in times of war was part of it. It was because that was part of it. Another big part of it was because it just wasn't kind of like what you said. It wasn't really designed to unify the states. It was designed to let each of the states act on their own, and it made it really weak as a whole. But yes, because it was wartime, there was that focus as well. The problem was it was made in a wartime and didn't give the country as a whole a way to raise armies or fund military. And so that made it really, really weak. And that's a big old part of why it didn't last. Yeah, it was because the states didn't want the states each wanted their own state to live by their own state rules. They didn't want a power centralized that could tell each of the individual states what to do. They wanted to be able to kind of make their own laws and have them respected. And on one hand, that's still part of what the U.S. is supposed to do. It's supposed to let the states decide their own rules on a variety of subjects. But the Articles of Confederation took it a little too far, didn't give the central government anything to be able to do. So yeah, it was the states didn't want to give up any of their independence from each other. So that was a big old part of it. Which makes sense. The states did want their own independence. They still do in a lot of ways. Ah, crap, I don't want the tight deadline. And because of that, it's always been a balance of figuring out how much to give, like, the government around the states and how much to give the states themselves. It's been really, really tricky to figure that out. That's still been something that people haven't figured out for the last 200 years. No, it wasn't that. It was extreme measures. Oh, that's going to bite me in the butt. Forced overtime and tight deadline 3. Okay. Madison was super helpful at the Constitutional Convention. The biggest thing Madison did at the Constitutional Convention, where they were drafting the Constitution, was he took notes like a teacher's pet. Like, he noted everything. We know so much about the convention because he wrote down everything that was said and everything that was did. And he helped draft the Constitution. The thing that Madison really was indispensable for was the Bill of Rights, which wasn't made with the Constitutional Convention. It came a few years later. So he gave a lot of those rights that, most nations value, the freedom of the press, the right to gather, the fair trial, and things like that. Those were all things he wrote after the convention was over, because the convention couldn't decide whether they wanted those rights to be part of the Constitution. They thought, well, if we give those, it kind of means that anything we don't think to write down aren't guaranteed. So they was like, well, if we don't mention any rights, we can just sort of assume we have all of the rights. But then they realized by not writing down any of the rights, there was no guarantee that any of the rights would be given to the people. So Madison wrote up the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, which was called the Bill of Rights. But yeah, his notes from the convention were so freaking helpful. Like, I've used them a lot in my research, and he was essentially the teacher's pet. He was like, needed to write down everything, and a lot of the people were cranky. They were in a hot building constantly for months, arguing with each other over stupid stuff, and so they were, by the time they were finished and they thought about doing something about the Bill of Rights, they were like, no, we've been at this too long. We really don't want to be dealing with this anymore. So they kind of quit, and so later Madison wrote up the Bill of Rights, and it was super, super wise thing to do. The Constitution itself was written, it really was written by committee in a lot of ways. Although, I will say, I'm so glad you brought Adams. Adams is my specific field of study. Adams is my passion. He's the thing I study the most. He is absolutely he's my guy. He's the one I love. Let's see, text. Yeah, we gotta do that. Okay. And he is actually, he contributed a lot more than people think to the Constitution. He wasn't at the Constitutional Convention. He wasn't at the meeting where they drafted the Constitution. He was serving as an ambassador at the time in England. But the Constitution was drafted off of his political philosophies and what he used to write a constitution for his personal state. He was arguably the philosophical and legal genius among the founders. He was brilliant. And so he was the one that drafted the structure of government that ended up being used in the Constitution. He'd already used it a decade earlier in the Constitution he made for his home state. And so when they were coming up with the national Constitution, what he had done was an inspiration to a lot of them for how it happened. Yes, yeah, he had to deal with France in the Quasi-War. He had to deal with the Barbary pirates. He had a lot he had to deal with, and I will be the first to say he was not a perfect human being. He was very insecure. He was very argumentative and not great at personal uh, relations, and he but he was still indispensable to the founding. He did his very best, and he had huge contributions that it tend to be overshadowed just because, I mean, the people he was working with were Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and John and Ben Franklin, all these other huge names that it's kind of really difficult to stand out against. But he is still absolutely crucial to the United States. Yeah, and yeah, he had to deal with the French. He had to deal with a lot. All the early presidents did. It was very difficult because a lot of times they were still trying to figure it out as they were going along. Oh crap, time. I can talk about this subject all day. So his presidency wasn't necessarily the best. Which is one of the reasons he was, he only had one term as president compared to some of the others. He made some big mistakes. He made something called the Alien and Sedition Act, which was very concerning in a lot of ways. It tried to kind of decide what the press could and couldn't print about certain subjects. It had some bad treatment of immigration. Yes, he was. Yeah, there was not a soul alive that was going to go against George Washington's. I won't say soul. He had plenty of detractors, but most people just loved George Washington, and he tended to make the right decisions. He tended to make some stuff that was really, really beneficial for the country as a whole. Washington was the GOAT. Washington was the one we respect. He had people that disagreed with him, which everybody should. Oh crap, I'm out of time. But so in it, John Adams had some big shoes to fill after Washington, and he didn't necessarily fill it. No one ever would, really. It's hard to say whether we'll ever have a president as good as Mr. George Washington. He was impressive. He had his flaws. He had more than his fair share of flaws, but he was still. If he hadn't made some of the decisions he had, there's very possible we'd have fallen apart by now. Yeah, I know, I'm dead. So yeah, Adams liked Washington. Everyone, for the most part, liked Washington, but he knew what to do. He knew to set up certain practices as a president, and it was a good move. It wasn't perfect. It was far from perfect. And yeah, I know, I'm dead. I can't. It's hard to talk while I'm doing this. But Washington decided to resign after 2 terms. He didn't have to do that. He did disseminations of power. He tried to keep party politics out of it. He was very careful in the decisions he made. And Adams tried, but he also he went up against Thomas Jefferson in his second election. And Jefferson he was very much everything Adams was not. He was charismatic. He was much more relatable and likable to people. And so Jefferson, they had sort of the first, like, really kind of bitter presidential campaign. They had it got personal, it got argumentative. That didn't happen with Washington, or when he resigned, it didn't happen with Adams. In fact, presidential campaigning at the time, political campaigns were kind of frowned upon. It was sort of the practice to not campaign. You didn't even want to be seen like you were campaigning. But when Adams went up against Jefferson, that kind of went out the window. They went at each other hard. Some consequences. Jury summons 2. Yes, Adams and Jefferson died on the same day. And if I remember correctly, it was on the anniversary, like what the U.S.'s anniversary is generally considered to be. And they had become, their friendship really broke for a while during the political stuff, but they became friends again towards the end. But yeah, they died on the same day. It was they had become friends again by then. It was something else. Come on, what am I doing? Right. So that is something to, yeah, they were good people. Yes. Yes, it was. They had a respect for each other that they kind of lost sight of when I don't even remember a single thing I rolled. I'll just pick some at random. No, yeah, let's do that. And that. Okay. So he didn't, obviously, the time, they weren't updated instantly. So they didn't know that the either was kind of in that position. Oh crap, I think I forgot to change my weapon. Alright, let's do that. Did I forget? No, I remembered. Okay, good. Okay, good. And they were very peas in a pod. They were very, very smart. They were both very philosophical. But they had different ideas about what the government should be early on, and that split them up for a really long time. They'd been very close for quite a while, and then when it came time to sort of decide, how the government should be run, they had very strong disagreements on what should be done, and it was sort of one of the reasons they had gotten along for so long was they were both very very passionate about what the government should be. They were both, they both were very strong on the United States getting its own independence. They had a lot of similar takes on a lot of personal rights, not all of them. Jefferson had some very disagreeable taste in terms of slavery. So did Washington. So, so that part wasn't great. Yes. Jefferson especially did not want to get rid of slavery. He had no intention of that happening. And a lot, not just Jefferson, I won't say just Jefferson, roughly half of the states did not want to get rid of slavery. And that was part of the reason they didn't want to see the central government, the federal government, get too much power over the states. Because at the time, the general rule, it didn't become official until later, was some states could have slavery be legal, and other states could decide not to have slavery be legal. And that was part of the reason that a lot of the states didn't want to see power given to the central government to maybe decide, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this and enforce it on all the states. So that was part of the reason. Part of the reason that people didn't want a central government too was they were worried that that would make it really close to sort of a monarchy or an aristocracy, where they wouldn't be able to, um, they the power would be too much in one central location. By putting a lot on the states, it allowed power to be sort of spread out and sort of balanced, uh, which was very very useful. It's going to always be a delicate balance of a central power and power among the states, and so that's always going to be a thing. But yeah, slavery. There was it was debated a lot in the founding of the United States. Yeah, it's always been chaotic. If you listen to if you talk to a lot of Americans, they sort of have this impression that there was this sort of noble, unified view of what the country should be, and it was a bunch of bickering, opinionated, strong-headed individuals all arguing with each other about what was supposed to happen. And the type of government that was being created, this sort of combination of a republic of different states and representatives and a democracy in general, was it was something that hadn't to that extent been done before. And that's one of the reasons, they tried with the Articles of Confederation, and that didn't work. And so they came up with the Constitution, which has worked better. It hasn't been perfect. It's, and again, things like slavery are issues that are definitely an embarrassment of the U.S. It's something that even now we have trouble addressing the history of. But it's a tough one. It's very very tough, and it is very difficult to embrace. But yeah, they tried. They worked on different governments, and you can find letters between all of them about what they think should and shouldn't work, and all sorts of different things, and it is quite the process. And that was just the concept. That wasn't even seeing it in practice. It's like, okay, we can have this sort of balance of powers and figure out how to make it work the best. And that wasn't even, then it started actually happening. It's like, okay, what do we actually do here? What happens when we have to decide how to declare a war? What happens when a president dies? How much power does the vice president have? Like, all these different things that they hadn't really figured out from the start, and they had to kind of make up as they went along. It was very, very, very difficult. And so it still is that, it's the whole slavery thing is an entire history. It's its entire own, like, subject. There's so much involved in it. I mean, not that when I say its own subject, it's not that it's not something to be discussed. It's super worth discussing, but there's so much there to talk about. Yes, yeah. There's the modern United States, and I don't like talking about modern U.S. politics. I'll talk about the old stuff forever. I don't like talking about the new stuff too much. But yeah, there's a lot of, continues to be a lot of U.S. pride, and it's kind of, the people that made it were English, and a lot of them wanted to remain English. Even when they were getting ready to revolt against England. Again, John Adams, he wrote some essays under a fake name for a long time before before independence, and the name was Nova Inglis, which meant new Englishmen because they hadn't fully decided whether they wanted to stop being Englishmen or not. It was kind of depended on how England decided to do things, and so it was, they weren't sure about that. The concept of American pride. Well, technically he was. I mean, all of those guys were British citizens. They were all part of the British Empire. Americans didn't exist yet, technically. They were all still part of the British Empire. So they were all technically British. And, they kind of, as far as they were concerned, became Americans when they made their own country. But they grew up, they spent their lives as English citizens. They had English identities. They were all technically English for a very long time. And they just kind of took on they had their own sense of identity. Like the colonies had their own sense of they both considered themselves English and didn't. Like they knew that they were part of the empire, and they knew where's the last enemy? There you are. They were part of the empire, but they were also they knew that they had their own culture distinct from the culture back in Britain. So it was a combination of them, and there were stereotypes too. How colonists were viewed compared to the people that lived back in England and that kind of thing. So that was, they had their own thing, but up until independence, they were all still very much Englishmen. So that was kind of something that they had to come to grips with about, how to create their own identity after that. But as far as they were concerned, growing up, they were English. Yes. If England hadn't, been bankrupt by very expensive wars, they wouldn't have taxed the colonies as extensively, and the colonies probably wouldn't have been as upset or felt the need to revolt anywhere near as much. But England had been strapped for cash, and they had to get money wherever they could, and they had these colonies that were making lots of products and had lots of resources that the European continent was, fighting over. And so they decided, okay, we'll take more money from these colonies. And so that's what they tried to do. And the colonists were like, no, we deal with this ourselves. You guys make decisions for yourselves, and then you expect us to pay for it. And England kind of thought they had that right. And they did, but that didn't mean the colonists were going to accept it. So that was kind of what it was. Yeah, this war that, England and France had been fighting on and off for a century, had occasionally would just bankrupt them. And it happened to France too. I mean, there's a reason France had its own revolution right around the same time. Theirs didn't go as well. But they had, absolutely drained their own citizens of money as well. And that's kind of what wars do. But the British just kind of didn't handle it super well. Neither did the French. They absolutely drained their citizens. So that's what happens. And American history tends to paint England a lot more unfairly. Yeah, I'll say a lot more unfairly than is deserved. England was doing what they, were allowed to do. They were trying to keep their empire going, and part of the reason for the war was to defend their territory here in the colonies. Not a huge part, but it was part of it. So they felt, okay, well, the colonies can pay for it then. And then everyone, the Americans, the French, the British, all had their own wars with the indigenous people too, which is its own kettle of fish. Let alone Spain. Spain was doing its own crazy thing, as you're well aware where you are. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, when you look at how Chile became its own. I mean, it's still got the like the U.S. has a lot of influences, still from England. There's a lot in Chile that has a lot to to do with Spain. I mean, Chile and Argentina and Brazil, I mean, the history there between them and Europe is its own monster. It's absolutely crazy. Whoa! Oh crap! Playlist changed again. Yeah. Yeah, and the U.S. had one of those, but okay, give me one sec. The music changed again, and I don't know why. Stop that. One sec. Okay. Now stop going to other playlists. I'm gonna end up with copyrights. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, wait, when you think about, gosh, I can't even think about which of the Chilean revolution almost feels like the wrong turn for a lot of them. But the transitions of government in Chile, there's a lot to unpack there. Let's see, dash become sturdy. Let's do that. Okay, here we go. It's the kind of thing, like you said, the U.S. had one big internal war, and it was, it's again, it was that slavery issue. I know. It's it's much more for every Chilean event. There's usually like one specific figure that kind of takes the stage, and that's the one that's focused on in each. I don't even want to say like coup or revolution. The Chilean stuff is so complicated. So much to unpack. I mean, like you said, it's true of all the Latin countries. You look at, not even worth beginning to unpack. The most famous one to Americans, unfortunately, is Eva Perón. I mean, and Evita is the only one that they can mention from that whole debacle. Forget Pinochet. There we go. It's still very much, yeah. Like I said, I can talk about U.S. history all day. I've tried to untangle a bit of Chilean history or Argentine history, or even like Cuban and all the Honduras and all these. It's its own absolute mess. I'll stick with the American British mess that I've decided to spend my life on. because I love talking about the Americans. George Washington was an absolute madman. He loved fighting. He loved war. Uh, John Adams, he had his problems, but he was an absolute brilliant speaker. He knew how to make speeches. He knew how to write. He knew how to convince almost anyone to his side. And Thomas Jefferson was the poet. Thomas Jefferson was the idealist. The person that can keep high in the sky ideas. And Ben Franklin was just insane. Ben Franklin was a crazy dude. No one knew what was going on in that man's head. Nothing he did ever made sense. Absolute crazy. So I cannot begin to unpack Chilean history. If you want to talk about the fact that George Washington found the sound of bullets whizzing past his ears to be comforting, that'll talk about. Or the fact that John Adams had never fired a gun before, but on a voyage to Europe, they got boarded by pirates, and he picked up a musket for the first time. Had no idea how to use it, but he tried. That kind of thing. Or how Ben Franklin made like weird jokes about farts and all sorts of other stuff. He's a very funny man. All very funny men. Oh, heck yeah. I mean, learn more about, learn about whatever you like learning about. That's what I will always tell people. There's no right thing or wrong thing to learn about. And, again, yeah, if you ever learn about stuff and want to talk to it, I will all day, every day go into U.S. history. But also pick the subjects you want to talk about. That's really important too. Those are big deals. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, I'm about to die. I don't care. I've had fun talking about history. You made my Vlad. I will tell you, you made my day just bringing up that subject. You made my day just by bringing up these subjects. Absolutely, I love it so much. And it's the kind of thing that my friends and family have learned not to bring up around me, because they know I will just happily go into these subjects for hours. And even though I spent the last 2 weeks writing about 40 odd pages of this subject, I will never run out. Absolutely love it. Like how George Washington was absolutely an old cranky man before he became the first president. Like, he was retired. He was done with everything. And they kept bringing him back. And he's just tired. He's like, ugh, fine. So sick of it. Alright, what we got? Convenience fee 1. I don't do a lot of communication off stream, unfortunately. I'd love to, but I don't. And it's kind of a bummer. I should be better about it. Okay. Remember to take the thing off. This hard labor, convenience, not less than consequences. Convenience fee, 30 cents too, and paid security. But that's the thing, is I'm just, oops, Did I change my thing again? Yeah, there we go. I'm never in communication. Yeah, if you want, join my server or add me on there. Absolutely, Vlad. Absolutely, 100%. I mainly use it to post announcements and things like that, but absolutely. Practice stronger, special stronger. Let's do this one. I should have more forms of being able to communicate with people, but I don't yet. Ugh, I know this stream's gonna end up muted. I know it. Too many times Spotify has decided to put music that is probably gonna get tagged. It's a lot of ways it's like a forum. It really is. It's just it's easy to overthink. You know, a lot of servers seem really complicated and stuff, but for the most part it's just a bunch of different forums, or kind of think like a bunch of different Facebooks or Twitter. It's you know, they all look weird because each little server has its own rules or setup, but in general it's pretty simple, and you can just use the messenger on there too. I mean, it's totally capable of that. So that is a-okay. Yeah, go for it. I've got the link on my page. You're more than welcome to do so. And by all means, keep bringing up history in this stream, because that will make it easy for me to keep talking. And I mean, I think it'll scare a lot of people away. They'll just fall asleep. But it is my baby. It is what I love. Alrighty. And I mean, just by asking some of the questions you've asked today, Vlad, I will tell you, you are probably at this point more informed on some of these subjects than the average American. Restore. Yeah, let's do that. For example, the average American can only name 8 United States presidents, and you are getting close to that amount right on your own. And for someone who is not an American, that makes you much better and informed or educated. You know. It's true. It's absolutely true. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, brain. Ugh, give me 2 seconds. My cat is at the door. She's whining at me. There she is. Now she's inside. No, it's the Chilean history and the 5 original founders. I guarantee you the average American doesn't even... Well, for one thing, they say Chile instead of Chile. And then I guarantee they have no idea about any of its founders. Or any of the more modern Chilean leaders. Again, the only thing they know about Latin America in general is Evita. And some of them know Che Guevara. That's about it. Which I don't want to pretend I'm particularly well versed on Chilean history either. I'm not by any stretch. But yeah, you're getting closer to knowing more US history than your average American. Yes, that is the one name that some of them might be able to recognize. Yes, exactly. If they know that much. Come on now. Ugh. All right. Oh, I got out of practice not streaming so long. Should be able to keep going longer than this. Come on now. We're getting there. All right. All right. Come on. Come on. Go. Come on. Yes. Yeah. There's a lot to Chilean history that just, like I said, it scares me because just looking into it, I'm like, I cannot begin to unpack this. It's the kind of thing where I'm like, I cannot. I just can't. Okay, what do I got? Let's do this. No, I don't want to do that. Alright, let's do that. Come on, pretty kitty, stop it. Come on, kitty. Stop. Nope, off. Come on. No. Leave it alone. Sorry, Kitty decided now's a good time to be obnoxious. Off. Thank you. Go lay in your bed. Yeah, it's, again, all of the South American countries and their relations with all of the European countries are just a nightmare. It is absolutely just too much. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's do that. And I mean, you're talking about football anyway. You're not even talking about the military stuff. I do have to say my team is Argentina, though. I'm sorry. Not that I'm a particularly strong fan in any way. But if I need a team, it's Argentina. Yeah, well, so does Argentina most of the time. I watch marble races, man. That's the competition I watch. I watch the Marble League. In fact, I just finished watching Yeah. There's a channel called, I believe it's called Gels Gels Marble League. It's Jelles, and they do marble races and marble, kind of like Marble Olympics. They're goofy, like they're goofy small stake stuff. It's but there are teams every year, and so you pick the marble team that you like, and each of the little marbles has its own name, and they all compete, and each of the teams has a little marble captain. It's just cute, silly little stuff. But it's really fun. You get really into it. I mean, once you pick like a marble team you like, you start getting really mad when the marbles lose. Yeah, it's that same kind of thing, I'm sure. It's kind of like, I cannot believe I'm getting into this, but you really do. You start rooting for the teams, and you get mad when they lose, and you get happy when they win. It's really fun. I essentially live tweeted my way through the Marble Leagues of this year, just like a couple of, I think even just like last week. I just live tweeted my way through it because I've got two favorite little marble teams, and they both did horribly, but it's very fun anyway. And the little league has its own little opening ceremony, and they each of the little their qualifier rounds. It's super fun and goofy. I love them. My team are the Snowballs, or Team Momo. Super fun. Yeah, like I say, it's goofy. Like it's just little marbles racing around, but they're super fun. You get your teams, and you get angry when they lose. Marble Olympic, or Marble League is what it's called. It's super fun. And it's got a great, sweet announcer who like really gets into it, like he's actually commenting on a serious sporting event. It's really fun and cute. I recommend the Marble Leagues to everyone. That's what I recommend to people. United States history and Marble Leagues. Those are the things. Why not? Yeah, do it. Do it. It's really fun. You just gotta pick a team, and then you'll find yourself really yelling at them when they lose, and cheering for them when they win. It's super fun. Okay, let's see. I'm not gonna have enough money to do anything. Okay, here we go. Oh crap. I don't know how well I'm gonna do here. Alright, let's see. Abilities, I can deflect. Yeah, let's do that. But it is 100% worth doing. And, yeah, so there's that. You are making my day just by letting me talk about the things that make me happy, Mr. Vlad. I got to talk about John Adams. Do you know how often I get to talk about John Adams? Never. Even though I made him the alert for when someone new follows me, I never get to talk about John Adams. This weedy little... He was essentially called the little fat man when he was president. They called him his rotundness. Because he wasn't a very likable man. He was a brilliant man, and we wouldn't have had the U.S. without him, but he was not a very endearing individual. Especially not compared to the other founders. Ow, ow. And his son became president too, a little bit later. Which wouldn't be the only time relations, different presidents had relatives become presidents, of course. So. Come on. Ah, phooey. Oh well. Yes, it was a really tricky time. It was a really tricky time for Mr. Johnny Adams. He was in this really unfortunate position of the US kind of feeling like we don't know what to do here. We don't know how to deal with this. It's you know, they hadn't figured out how to make things happen yet. And so there's John. He doesn't know. He's like, well, what step do I take? So that's my Johnny Adams. 2 seconds. My voice is absolutely cracking. And I knocked over my microphone, of course. I'm awful. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Although I am going to have to finish up soon, unfortunately. Unfortunately. See, I'm going to give it one more run though. Power Rangers. Middle management, okay. Ba ba ba. I did. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, it's gonna be a short last run. Okay, that doesn't count. Convenience fee, okay. Alrighty. And that one doesn't count. Oh my gosh. Underworld Customs. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay, last run of the stream. Okay, it was, oh my god, night deadline 3. It was middle management. It was convenience fee 1, and it was underworld customs. There we go. Alright. I didn't even get to the second boss today. I am definitely rusty. C'est la vie. Now's the time. Ah. Okay, yeah. Oh, go, lad, go. Yes, see you tomorrow. Go. Thank you so much for being here, Vlad. It made my day. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. No biggie. I will be continuing the stream. Hopefully before too long I will have a new model. Very, very excited. Oh, don't be silly, Vlad. Don't be silly. All good, all good. Life is just peachy. I will ever be around for people. Ooh. Ooh. Here we go. There we go. Beautiful. Alrighty. Ah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's no way I'm gonna get even close to beating this. I hate the deadline. Come on, you stupid thing. Faster, faster, faster. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Alright, so close. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be an awful final run for the day. Oh well. Go this way. Ba 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 ba. That's fine. Yes. Don't even sweat it. I'm not even 100% sure what time tomorrow I'll be able to do it. So, you know, obviously, whenever you show up, I love that you're here. Love having people to talk to. Come on now, come on now. There we go. Alright, where do we go? Oh god, I don't have time for a mini-boss. Yeah, Vlad, don't ever sweat it. I never take it personally when, you know, when people can't make it or don't want to make it or anything else. Oh, don't sweat it. Don't you sweat it one bit. That probably won't be till next week. I think. I can't remember what my schedule is like this coming week. And I want to find out from the person making my model how long they think it's going to be. They haven't been working on it long. I'm not saying that they've been taking forever. I'm just excited and want to know when I can start using it. They're even going to rig it for me. So I'm going to be very, very excited. It'll be a wonderful time. Alright. See you. Oh crap, I got 40 seconds left. Oh, son of a... Why? Schnookbots. Oh crap. Rassum gold darn. Oh, this is not going well. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Deadline. Stupid piece of garbage. Come on. Come on. Come on. Your move. Magic is found, but never quite this way. You must use it okay. You know. Yeah, I know. Time's up. Time's up. My health is going down. Okay. Oh, it doesn't friggin' matter. I'm just dead. Ah. Come on now. I want to do a little bit before I end. Alright, okay. Alrighty. I know, I'm out of time. Just keep going till I'm out. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Here. Ooh, maybe I'll try raiding someone today. I never raid. I'll send over Vlad. Yeah. Oh, come on. I never get to raid, so that'll be fun. And there it goes. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Give me 1 sec here. We are just about done for today. That's wrong thingy. Where's my other thingy? Come on now. Come on, raid thingy. Nope, wrong thingy. Come on, raid thingy. Here we go. Let's see. Nope, wrong thing. There we go. Be my stream manager. Alright, let's raid. Just, there he is. Legit Nicholas. I've only seen him, he amuses me. Alright. Vlad, thank you again. Wonderful. I love having you here. You have a wonderful day. Rainy. Goodbye. You too, Vlad. And 3, 2, 1, we're raiding. Right now.